Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing you another streamer pattern. That's right, we're sticking with the femur stream this month. And this is another one that's really cool, pretty easy to tie. It's going to take a little bit of practice, I'm not going to lie. Craft fur. I started using craft fur here on some of my streamers and I really like it. I'm using it on a couple different ones. You know, my headbangers now, I'm starting to use them on them. Some of my articulated ones, but this one is intended to be a steelhead pattern. This is a emerald shiner imitation, and really easy. Just 2 colors of craft fur and some tinsel, some flashaboo. So it's not a lot of materials. It just takes a little bit of practice to get it down on tying it. You know, getting everything to work the way you want it. That's where the practice comes into play. Doing the reverse tie and pushing it back over and getting them to stay in place and look nice. So it's going to take a little bit of practice if you've never tied with craft fur before, but hey, it's always better to make you a better tyer, you know, to practice different techniques. And that's what I like to show you here on my channel, is just different techniques. The more techniques you have, the more flies you can tie, because that's all flies are, is just a different set of techniques for different flies. And I think you're going to enjoy this one, so sit back and watch. Here it is, and the material list to tie it. Okay, here you see the fly in the vise. Really cool looking, you know, just a simple craft fur minnow. This one's in an emerald shiner pattern. Great right now for Erie steelhead. Emerald shiners are pretty big up there. And let's get the fly in the, or the hook in the vise, I should say. And the hook we're using is a 2557 Daiichi. For thread, I'm using 140 Denier Olive thread. And we're just going to wrap it back to the bend of the hook. The next thing I'm going to use is craft fur. Okay, I haven't done a video with craft fur yet. I like using it. I've been using it a little bit more here lately. And the way we're going to use it is we're going to stick our scissor in it, and I'm going to take and just peel a row back from it. Okay, I'm just going to peel a row back, and I want that to be about my thumb length. All right, so once I get that peeled back and all separated from the rest of it, and I just keep working my way up this fake skin, this piece of material. Just separate that and then cut it off. Alright, then once you pull that away, you see there you have this nice, I don't know what you want to call it there, but piece of material. And I'm going to take and ball it all up together, okay? By balling it all up together, that puts all these butt ends together, and then you can just take and pull that underbelly out of here, that fluff that's on the bottom. Now you see there's a lot of static there making it go all crazy, but I'm just going to hold that down, and now you can see from the back here, on the back ends, there's long ones and short ones. I'm going to kind of get that a little bit closer together, so I'm going to try to pull out some of the really long ones and bring them a little bit more evenly. And now, I want this to be about twice the length of the hook shank here on this size 6. So we're going to hold this on top and tie it down. And we're going to get a couple nice tight wraps here. And then we're going to trim this off. This just, craft fur is not hard to work with. Takes a little bit of practice, but it's not hard. Pretty easy to get onto. Now you can see there's my tail. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of flash. For the Krystal flash I'm using here is olive. And I have this where the tips are all different lengths. Let me get her down there a little bit better. And that's what I want. I want the tips to be all different lengths, about 5 or 6 of them here I got, and I want them to stick just past, let me get it, just past the tip of the tail. And we're going to tie this down. I'll make 2 or 3 wraps, and then I'm going to double it up. So I want there to be a fair amount of flash in here, but not too much. And now, like I said, I don't want any of them real long, so I'm just going to take and kind of separate them a little bit and cut them off at different lengths. So there's no sharp edges, it's all different lengths. Okay, now we're going to come up here towards this eye. And I'm going to put some more green craft fur on. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just peel a row back and trim it off. And when you do it this way, it's actually pretty easy, and it keeps your craft fur pretty neat too. I used to just trim clumps of it off, and then I would have this big, messy, ugly patch of craft fur with patches all over it. And now you can see here, like I got all my long stuff. Got this one trimmed up pretty good here. So again, gonna take this, we're gonna bunch it all together, and then pull out all the short ones. Okay, and I'm going to try to straighten them up just a little bit, because I'm not trying to make a long fly here. Now, I want these to be shorter than the tail, so I'm going to lay them on top, see where they need to go, and then I'm going to trim them off. Okay, and I'm going to reverse tie these. So I'm going to take the butt end here, and I'm going to switch it around in my fingers, and I want to point it right out over that hook. And I'm going to tie it down behind the hook eye. Sorry, the eye, not the hook. But I don't want to get, I want to leave just a little bit of room, maybe like a half an eye between the eye and my craft fur. If I lift that up, you can see there's a little bit of room in between the two. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my belly material, which is just white. You could use a cream or a white here. And do the same thing. Pull the strip of it up. And then cut it off. Okay. And then we're just going to clump it all together again. Pull out the short ones. And you can see these tend to be, I don't know, this white one is a little bit different material. There's a lot longer ones in it. So I'm just going to try to straighten them a little bit better than they were. And then I want these to be the same length as the other one, as the top patch we put on here. So we're just going to trim this up. And we're going to reverse tie this one also. So we're going to put this on the bottom. We're going to loose one or two loose ones, and then we'll pull it down tight. Okay, now for up here, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring my thread right up to the back of that, and then I'm going to separate the white and the green. And when I do that, I'm going to pull it back and bring my thread up in front and make a couple wraps here in front. Okay, now I need to take this and I need to pull it back and get it going towards the back of the fly here. But I want to keep the white on the bottom and the green on the top. You can see these white ones, they have a lot of shorter ones. Can be a little pain in the butt. But once I get it where I need it, then I'm going to start wrapping it back towards that craft fur. I don't want to wrap over it. I want to build a big dam in front of it that holds it up. So I'm not wrapping it down, I'm just wrapping it back. By doing this, it gives it a little bit of head here. As you see when I let go, it still builds up a little bit of head, gives you some width here. And that's what we want to see. So let's tie this off with a whip finish, and then we're going to put our eyes on. Okay, for eyes, I'm using some 5mm living eyes, and I'm going to put them on with some super glue. This is the Gorilla Glue with the blue cap. I really like this stuff. Just put a little dab of it there. And these are the fire living eyes. I try to keep this up here towards the front, and then I'll take something to hold it down, to press it up against the hook shank there so it attaches to something. Usually try not to use my finger, because when I use my finger I tend to glue my finger down. But there you see, I got it right there behind the eye. I want to keep this up. By keeping it up here, it keeps me away from my hook gap down here. So I'm going to put the eye on the other side now. Just a little dab of glue there. And we'll slide our eye up onto there and glue it down. And try to keep them nice and even. Press it in there tight so it stays in place where you want it. Okay, and there you see I got my two eyes on it. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of Solares, and I'm going to put a little bit of Solares up here on the top and fill in between the two eyes and over the eyes a little bit, just for an extra added locking them in place. And hit that with my light real quick. And there you can see, there's my emerald shiner. Now when you get this in the water, it's going to take on water. There you go. It's going to look something a little like that. And there you go. Nice little emerald shiner pattern. Okay, there you go, guys. You see, that wasn't hard to tie. Just a couple pieces of material, and it's a really cool looking fly. You know, any of the material you need to tie this, you can find it at the website, and we have a link now in the description. So if you just go down to the description there and scroll down to the bottom, there's links to all the materials there, so you can just really easily find it on our website. Give it a try, guys. It's going to work for you. It has a lot of movement in the water. That's one of the great things about craft fur. And please, also, before I go here, I want to tell you, keep commenting on my videos. I really enjoyed that last week when you guys commented. And, you know, I'll get right back to you as quickly as I can on the comments. So thanks for watching, guys, as always. And until next week, when I bring you another streamer pattern to keep this month's theme going, I'm Sean Holsinger.